Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Energy Web Token. So as you guys are probably aware, yes, I just made a video on Energy Web Token recently, and I do want to really kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about it because I suspect that we're going to see a lot of price movement for Energy Web Token in the near future, but also I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about some partnerships that it does have, especially if you guys are an XRP holder, because if you are in XRP, I'm just saying it right now, you might want to be looking into Energy Web Token because this is going to provide a lot of this space with some incredible technology to allow a lot of these major blockchains to really be pretty much carbon neutral. And I think that this is incredible to see. I think that, from my video yesterday, I pretty much told you guys that adding that aspect is going to legitimize the use of cryptocurrencies in, real world applications because, governments and major pretty much companies out there want to utilize technology that is green, more sustainable, and Energy Web Tokens pretty much solving that. Now, we do see here, this goes back to September 30th, 2020, so almost a year and a few months ago. Energy Web is starting with Ripple in its bid to make crypto provably green. We do see here that the nonprofit is teaming up with Ripple and the XRP Foundation to show how blockchain ecosystems can be carbon neutral. Like I said, they are pretty much providing carbon neutrality to these blockchains that suffer from non-sustainability. And the crypto industry, with its questionable carbon footprint, like I said, is a big issue, and they are solving that. And then also we do see here, but that raises a tricky question. The likes of Amazon and Google, whose processing largely takes place with directly owned and controlled data centers, are able to contract clean energy with relative ease and precision. But who do you ask for if you want to make Bitcoin greener? Announced Wednesday, Energy Web, a non-profit, pretty much partnered with Ripple to do so. This is great to see. And this is all through their open source app called EW0, which I discussed to you guys yesterday about. I think that this is awesome. I think that this is going to provide a lot of value to a lot of blockchains out there. But XRP being one of their first choices to really help is awesome to see because you guys are probably all aware by now, but I am an XRP supporter. I do hold XRP. And I do think that it is an incredible project, but I do think that a lot of these projects do suffer from sustainability. And like I said, Energy Web is really solving that. Now, I also want to talk to you guys about decentralized IDs. Now, this comes from November, evaluating the total number of DIDs and the impact on the overall utility of Energy Web Token. Now, they are more so talking about decarbonizing power grids with software. In short, modern grids need an identity and access management solution tailored for the sheer volume and diversity of clean energy resources in the market. This is exactly why we are building open source tools to unlock the full potential of decentralized identities, or identifiers, with the Energy Web Decentralized Operating System. Now, this is great to see. Also, I don't know why I said identities, but I meant to say identifiers. I do apologize for making that mistake. But overall, this is going to be pretty large in terms of the modern grid. In terms of how big the modern grid actually is, you might be wondering how big it is. Well, here you guys have it. The global smart grid market is expected to reach $92 billion by 2026. I do believe that it could be even bigger. But when we're talking about how big, decentralized identifiers are going to be as well, I think that these are going to provide a lot of that value to a lot of these major names that are in this space. We do see here, it's a verifiable identity that is user-generated and not coupled to any centralized institution. It can be used to identify any object or subject, such as a person, an organization, a device, an electric vehicle on a smart meter, and non-tangible assets like contracts. The IDs allow users to have control over both their identities and any data associated with them as well. And now they are talking about, W3C standards as well, because that's what this technology is developed based on. It is flexible enough to work with any technology and use case within the energy sector and outside of it. The reason why I say, bring that up is because we talk about how big the renewable energy, market is going to be, as well as the grid service. All of this is providing immense amounts of value. And what could this really kind of prosper us into? Well, it's a digitized age of the electric grid as well as clean energy. We actually see here, this is happening because of the groundbreaking transformation in the energy industry. Customer spend on clean energy is on track to eclipse utility spending on all energy. And we do see utilities. We also see customers. Pretty much see the time for this as well. Customers are investing in clean energy assets. These assets are the future of the energy sector. Battery storage, smart AC, electric cars, and charging stations, solar systems. The list goes on. And we do see Energy Web solves this major problem, which is a fundamental challenge caused by energy companies, is caused by the fact that most of these clean energy assets are not integrated with market participant operating systems, but they are building operating systems for the energy grids, aka an open source digital infrastructure, which is going to also make interoperability layers within this space too. Somebody said yesterday on Twitter to me, this is essentially Q&T for the energy grid, and it is, because this is going to be that connection layer between everything. We actually see wholesale, distribution, energy attribute certificates, market and operational layer, digital infrastructure, and then customer and asset layer as well. This is going to be huge. In terms of where this could be placed, we do see here this includes, consumers, companies operating in the space, grid operators, aggregators, renewable energy installers, EV charging network operators, independent power producers, solar systems, batteries, EVs, EV chargers, smart meters, and smart thermostats. So this is going to pretty much prosper us into a whole entire environment around energy. We do see here, we estimate that by 2030, there will be between 200 million and 1.2 billion DIDs using the Energy Web tech stack. Around 83% of them will belong to energy assets like electric cars, solar PV systems, smart meters, and the rest, about 17%, will belong to people interacting with these assets. So that is huge. And here's all of the devices included that will be utilizing DIDs or potentially utilizing DIDs. And we actually see here the industry forecasts that the number of devices will grow from 2.2 billion to 3.8 billion. This is absolutely massive from Energy Web side of things, because they're going to probably grasp a large portion of this. And I'm very excited to see this actually continue to grow and grow and grow. That's why I do think that Energy Web token truly is going to be a huge asset to hold long term as we do march forward on into an energy sustainable environment and world. If we're talking about the global smart grid hitting $92 billion, that's fairly large in itself. But look at the renewable energy market too. It's on track to hit $1.97 trillion by 2030. Okay, I just want you guys to understand that, even if we grasp like $9 billion in market cap value, look at how much we would be worth at $9 billion. I know that this isn't too crazy in terms of where we would be. I just want to say it's a 26x from our current position at $9 billion only. Okay, in terms of how big the global smart grid's going to be and how big the renewable market's going to be, let's just say we hit, I don't know, anywhere between $200 billion to $500 billion. At $200 billion, boom, there you have it. A 593x or $4,951 per. At $500 billion, we'd be worth 12.4K or a 1,483x. Now, please note that I am not talking about these prices happening anytime soon. I'm talking about the long-term fundamental growth behind this. But the reason why I say this and the reason why I'm bringing out these prices is because, do you honestly think people who were invested into Apple, years ago thought it would ever hit $3 trillion in market cap value? Absolutely not. But when we're talking about Energy Web token, we could pretty much see the world that is being built before our eyes. We are marching on into a sustainable, future. We need to protect, the earth. That's essentially the main focus point right now. We know that, electric consumption is on the rise. We know that there's major problems within this space as well. And even in terms of crypto, right, we are looking at more sustainable projects. And how do we get there? Energy Web token is solving it. And I truly do think that Tesla will be working with Energy Web. Volkswagen's already on board. We know that there's EV vehicle companies on the rise. Tesla is essentially no longer the big giant in the room. And we do see e-mobility. This is their industries that they are in. Increased revenue from EVs and chargers via market participation, green charging, and e-roaming. They already have, in terms of the challenges, we do see here by 2030, customer investment in renewable energy, distribution energy resources, DERs, and electric mobility will exceed utility investment in generation, transmission, and distribution. By today's power grids and electricity markets are not designed for customer-centric future. And of course, you could pretty much read the challenges. You could read their mission. Their mission is to develop and deploy open source decentralized technologies and standards to meet global requirements for establishing identity, enforcing roles, and facilitating transactions between billions of DERs, customers, utility service providers, and grid operators. This is why I do believe that we could hit those high figure numbers. I think that this could essentially become a 1000x opportunity long term. We do see the challenges here, and we do see the solutions built by Energy Web. I think that this is awesome. I think that what they are really building out, honestly, the more and more that I read about Energy Web Token, the more and more bullish I become, because this is definitely going to be a huge infrastructure for the future of, energy. We do see the advantages as well. You can pretty much read all about these advantages, and you could look into these project examples. They have a ton of project examples on here that, I could honestly go on and on about this project all day long because of what they truly are building out. Look at the EW applications for e-mobility, e-mobility dashboard, open charging network, Origin, green charging app as well. Stack components as well. You could pretty much read all about this, and this is all through those DIDs as well, by the way. So the amount of individuals who will be signed on with Energy Web, the amount of individuals who will be utilizing Energy Web, pretty much applications and uses is going to be astronomical. It's truly going to be huge. And like I said, I can go on and on about this all day long. I really do think that when we're talking about the long-term growth of this project, it has the potential to truly make a lot of individuals a ton of money. I think that this is pretty much going to be a huge investment opportunity. We look into their, history. Now, the reason why I look into their history is because I want you guys to understand their co-founders. Not so much Rocky Mountain Institute, trust me, they're huge, but I want to talk to you guys about Grid Singularity. Okay? It was a 2018 World Economic Forum tech pioneer. Okay, first off, we see that they are co-founding, Energy Web Foundation, but look at the names that they already look at these individuals, guys. World Economic Forum, Be a World, and also Clean Tech Group. You might be wondering, well, who is Clean Tech Group? Look into these major individual names and read about them. Okay? First off, access over 30,000 company profiles in seconds, or minutes, sorry. And you can read all about these major names too. Look at all of the clients that are on here, right? We see BP, which we know about BP. I'm sure everybody knows about BP. Mitsubishi as well. Honestly, a lot of these names that will be on these other partnerships, a lot of these names are already signed on with Energy Web. So I expect a lot more to come from these, other clients, if you will. You could read more about their clients on their website. You could just go to clients here and pretty much look at who they are working with. We see Shell. Shell's already on Energy Web Stack. You could pretty much read all about their energy suppliers. I believe that they are on. All right, so it's actually not here. I believe it's in their About section. So, or 1 second here. Let me find it for you guys. So here we go. So we have this, and I just want you guys to understand their clients. So let me refresh this because I think that something is broken on here. So, okay, so that's actually just a broken image on there. But we do see Microsoft, right? Let's go to Microsoft. So Microsoft is not here, but we do know that the Shell is. So Shell is one of their clients. And, we also see, I believe they had Siemens on here as well, but I'm not seeing it on here, but we've seen it on the home page, which is also another partner of Energy Web Token. The reason why I bring this up and the reason why I talk about this is because it's the same familiar thing that I talk about with, Hedera, with Ripple, with all these other major companies that I am invested in. When you see somebody, working with a company and you go to their website, like the company that are partnered with the asset that you're holding, and you see other things on their site. Like, for an example, you see that they're working with Shell, they're working with Goldman Sachs in terms of investment banks, and you're seeing Microsoft, Toshiba. You can expect that they have direct ties back to Energy Web Token. And of course, I don't really care if there is any ties to, clean tech. I just know that clean tech already has ties to them, and clean tech has ties to these major corporations. So I'm sure at some point in time, all of these major corporations will know about Energy Web Token. Eventually, once they do, sign on more and more names. I mean, a lot of the names that they already have on here are huge. I mean, Volkswagen Group Innovation by themselves, YPro, which we've learned about with, Hedera is huge as well. A lot of these names should not be disregarded at all. I mean, you could look up some of these and it would just make you instantly bullish on what they are trying to do. I just think that Energy Web Token has the potential to truly move extremely fast and also gain a lot of popularity, especially with what is happening in the current world. But I will say this, okay? Let's just go to, we'll just say $100, right? At $100, it's an 11x, okay? I think that this is possible. I think that this is easily achievable at a $4 billion market cap, I mind you, okay? Now, that puts it at around number 45, okay? I don't think that this is a 45 token. I think that this is at least 25 with a 22x on it. And if this gets to the top 10, this has 82x written all over it. That's why I think that this is an incredible opportunity. I truly do think that Energy Web Token should not be disregarded. If you guys are an XRP holder, even if you guys are, maybe you're holding a blockchain that, suffers from sustainability, maybe it suffers from not being carbon neutral, look into Energy Web Token. Because I could probably guarantee you at some point in time that they will be talking to Energy Web Token about a sustainability solution utilizing EW0. This is a huge asset opportunity. So with that in mind, please do your own research, understand what this project is doing. I really do encourage you all to do your own research before buying into this. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. Look into it. I'm not being paid at all to show this. I just think that this is an incredible opportunity. So with that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, go check out the links down in the description below. But with that in mind, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.